Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I'm your boy, Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got an awesome show planned for you guys today. Today, we're talking about something that I get approached with a lot of time because people want to go down the road of entrepreneurship. They want to do acquisitions. They may have a limited access to funds, and they want to get business credit. And all the time people say they want access to grants, the ones say access to funding, but they don't know where to start. They heard a lot, been told a lot,
right?
But they don't know how to do anything.
Okay.
So the night show we're talking about how to use business credit to scale your business without using your personal credit.
Mm-hmm.
How to use business credit to scale without using personal credit. And what do we mean by scale? I know some people are like, I've heard the term before. Scale just mean grow. Right? Layman's term, scale mean growth. Just business term. So how to grow your business, but again, how to use business credit to scale your business without using personal credit. So in other words, how to grow it without using your personal. And guys, you know me, I'm an accountant by profession. Been in the game for over 20 years. I post my credentials and all that stuff. So I ain't finna tell you no damn backdoor, the play, the scheme,
right.
No bullshit where you're gonna turn around and put yourself in a situation where you in a worse shape more financially before you started what I told you than you was before. So again, I'm telling you the right way to do it. It's the correct way. It may not be the fastest way,
right?
But it's the right way to go about everything. Again, tonight show we're talking about using business credit to scale without using your personal credit. Again, it's the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we talk about entrepreneurship, investing, finance, and what I'm forgetting, Lab.
Business.
We're going entrepreneur,
personal finance, entrepreneurship, real estate investing, and business.
There you go. That's my dog. And to stay abreast of everything, if we got to leave or anything like that, remember, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, Google it, subscribe, and you better see the video in its full entirety, just in case you have to leave. You have to cut it short or anything. And also, guys, feel free to call in. You want to add to the conversation. You got any question or anything? I know a lot of you do, because a lot of people are interested in finding out about how to get business credit, use business credit. I always try to tell people, look, stop trying to do the quick thing. The quick thing where we're doing that. We're going to talk about that BS during the show. But feel free to call in, 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brothers? Another great Thursday.
Hey, man, bad day of the week.
Yeah, right. Best day of the week. The weather's been acting a little funny. You told me about a couple of trees down by your house, but other than that, we're gonna push through.
Man, that shit bedlam out there. My man, every trees down everywhere. But me and Will B got a lot of stuff out in my yard today.
Okay.
The boys went to get a little dry. We'll blow everything else out.
Okay.
But I'm fortunate. Some of my neighbors weren't as much.
Oh yeah. You told.
Let me knock on wood because I won't come home and
right.
I done left from out here before. I had me a big ass oak.
I remember.
Sitting out there, then destroyed the whole back end of my house.
The back of your house. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, but shout out to all my neighbors. Hope everybody's fine and safe. Shout out to all you guys too as well. Be safe out there, man. Weather will humble your ass.
That's right.
I would say what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's up, Rick?
What's going on, Rick? Quentin Wilson said, "Big dog."
What's up, Quint? Quint, need to holler at me. 30-year reunion.
That's right.
30-year reunion. Need to holler at me, Quint. Appreciate you tuning in. And again, guys, we talking about the night show. In regards to using business credit to scale your business. I want to know, man, how many people out there have really, really tried start building a business credit up? How many people? You got, anybody got a response? How many of you guys out there, if you got a business or potentially looking to go into business, and really start working on your business credit?
Let me ask you a question while you waiting on them to respond.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question should be, how many people really know how to start business credit?
Well, we're gonna talk. That's what the show about.
Okay.
That's what the show about. Come on, lad, don't be stealing my phone. But I just want to know how many people out there have really said, okay, I've been doing it. Mm-hmm. And when I say building your business credit, I'm talking about the credit operating off your DUNS number or your business tax ID.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. We're doing it. By the lack of show of hands, it's not that many.
Even I ain't even showing my hand.
Okay, so and guys, wherever you at, what I would like to do, appreciate it, so we can just make sure we're spreading the gospel. Make sure you share the live. If you're looking at the live, whatever platform you're looking at it, make sure you share the live. Share it on your own personal platform and everything. We want to make sure the word get out to everybody because, I ain't charging. What I charge, and it's free information.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take advantage of it. And I do think it's something to be beneficial to a lot more people. And the more we can get it out to, the better. All right. So, definitely while we're looking at it, just share it. And I just asked everybody, have you even started to build your business credit profile? And to be honest with you, I know most people haven't. They talk about it, they think about it, and they heard different things on what to do, but they just hadn't started. And what I want people to understand, we start talking about business credit. We're talking about being able to borrow under the guise of your business, that being under the tax ID number, which is the EIN, or which is the employee identification number. I have to be careful when I use the acronyms because a lot of times we'll be assuming folk know what the hell it is,
and they don't.
Yeah, they don't. And people don't like asking because they don't want to seem like they don't know and like everything. They don't know. Okay. Yeah. I was just talking with my buddy today. He was on the way here, was talking about the damn auto or some stuff with cars. He was saying some terms. I said, "Hey, bro, you gotta speak English. I don't speak automotive, man." right. So but that being again, with the credit based off, your business being on the tax ID number, EIN number, or that DUNS number, and most folks have, and a lot of times they kind of dibble and dabble. They don't necessarily know how to. And far too often, people talk to people that's going to give them the wrong information. I do want to say something before we get to just, talking about the subject matter. Guys, when you were in business, you actually legitimately want to be able to grow your business and leverage your sales out. Like, I got a background in finance, and we look at leverage. Leverage is, in other words, is putting yourself in a position where you have this capital, and you can leverage that out to say, okay, I have this 5. But if I have this 25 or 30, I can do more with it. Okay. And that leverage allows you to be able to do different things, that being credit. But what people got to understand, credit, when you use credit for a business, you don't want to use credit for a business to just say, okay, start a business or whatever. It has to be some kind of return. Okay. So we get to talking. So when I say the return, guys, what we look at it, from a specific standpoint, if you got a credit card that charges 5%, your credit card charges 5% to borrow anything. You have to be able to, in your mind, if you don't know how to do it, you need to find somebody to help show you how to do it. Got tons of video on the YouTube channel. But whatever you're going to use that credit for has to bring you a return of over 5%.
Okay.
If your actions is not going to be heading to the direction to bring you a return of over 5%, you're gonna be at a deficit.
There you go. See, a lot of people get scared to do the credit because they're trying to figure out, and they should know because how to pay the bill once they get it. And you just told them how it's supposed to be done right there.
Well, what real talk? Far too often you see people on the internet and they're telling you how to get a $30,000 credit line, how to get this, that, and that. But they're not telling you that shit is at 15, 20, 30%. And your borrowing money, that's 5 times the prime rate, which is what the federal government establishes. Prime rate. Most lenders will put 1 or 2 or 3 points on top of that. You're borrowing at such a high rate, it wouldn't even be beneficial to you to even borrow it. But because people are so impatient, greedy, they just want to get a hold to this money, and then when they get it, they got to start paying the money back. They're not doing anything to again that the rate of return or return on investment is much less than the cost,
right,
or the interest rate that they're borrowing on. And I know it may seem like, man, I don't know how to calculate that. That ain't foreign, whatever. But that's how you determine to do that. So you start your business up, and you go buy all this equipment and buy these particular things, and then you got to start paying this loan back. The activity is still not bringing anything in. And you're like, man, this is it's killing you. It's killing you. And I'm telling you something, ain't shit more painful than being here and proud of yourself that you started your business than being downhill because you had to sell all that shit or they took it back. And a lot of times, the reason why that happened is because the moves you make, you weren't methodical, you didn't take your time, you didn't plan right, and they see all this stuff gone. You feel me?
I get what
And
you're
you
saying.
think for a lot of time for people to say is what, Lamb? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. Well, why? If you didn't know, you didn't try to find out.
Right.
But a lot of times people stick with stick around. Yeah, stick around people that's gonna be comfortable. Man, do this, do that.
Be comfortable with your decision. And when you tell them something, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Instead of saying, think about that now. Nobody wants a no man.
No man or even a person even knows because like now you being negative and you telling me stuff. No, ain't nobody trying to tell you. If you talking to the right people, if you talking to somebody who don't know any more than you,
right?
Of course you might get any kind of thing because they don't know any damn better. They just happy for you, right?
Right.
But when you turn around and start talking to people that can actually give you the real, they're gonna tell you things that be uncomfortable for you. Because now you got to think, you got to be held accountable, and all this other kind of stuff, right? So you have to be slow down for a little bit. Might got to put stuff off. Might got to start over. Might got to go back to the lab, rework a couple things. People don't want to do it because they get tunnel vision. I want to do it this way.
Right.
And like I said, that's probably one of the most painful feelings in the world is to be up here happy, posting,
doing your thing.
And then next thing you know, that shit gets sold and you done left your job, you did this, now your ass got to find another one and all that stuff. It's deflating. A lot of time that come down to shit you didn't do.
Decision.
People will say, well, no, folks didn't do this. No, it was you.
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah.
Because in some way it could be stuff that you didn't know. But if you don't know, go find out. Go find out. And that's why I say when you borrowing, guys, remember when we borrow, we got to borrow at a rate that we can do things that's going to give us a higher return than that. Right. So if the return on investment, if we borrow at 5% and the return on investment 8%, we can say we're doing okay because we got a 3% point on that, right? That's what we got to kind of look at. And then you sit there and say, well, how the hell you figure that out? How did you come to that? Well, that's why you got to go look at Mr. Short Dog.
That's right.
Or all stuff aside, not being funny. That's why you got to find people that actually explain, how to calculate that kind of stuff. Because when you buy the equipment, when you purchase those vehicles, when you set everything in place, now you got to sit here and look at it. You start looking at, I pay for this and I pay for that and I pay for that. That's a return for that. The math gonna be the math, guys.
Right.
Opinions are opinions, but the math is still the math. Everything goes on that. When we talked the other week, well, the video I did about people saying customer service that will cause people to close. No hell, you got the worst customer service in the world. But if your overhead is very low or affordable, you can stay in business for years.
That's true.
You can be rude as hell, but if you ain't really paying that for rent and utilities and you got whatever, you can stay in business forever. But you can have exquisite, superb customer service. But your cost to do business is so high. Rent high, employees high, utilities high, insurance high. You'll struggle. I mean, food is great, ambiance is great, impeccable customer service. But you can't even charge, man. You'll never stay afloat.
Right. You can't charge what you should be charging for a loan that you got covered all this. Yeah.
And I say I'm just saying that because so many times people feel like they know what it takes to be successful. But they really don't damn know. Math is math.
Right.
Math is math. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 5 minus 5 equals 0. You ain't getting shit. 5 minus 7, you know where we're going.
Right.
So you have to, you can't be, pulling in less than you putting out.
That's true.
And that's what happens so often, right? And it may be different things at different points. Where you say, okay, we slow right now, then we doing what we got to do, we'll come up eventually. And that's never gonna come.
Right.
Most time it don't happen like that. Right. So what we want to talk about tonight again is using that business credit scale without using the personal credit, because what I want people to understand when we look at going into business, one of the key things we want to do is make sure we keep all that stuff separate with the business. You're gonna take a gamble, you're gonna take a risk, you're gonna take chances and stuff like that. But as much as we can keep stuff segregated from the business and personal, the better. Okay. Some things you're gonna have to kind of mix them in regards to that, especially when we start talking about personal guarantors and cost of certain loans. When I say cost, guys, I'm talking about the interest rate, right? So those kind of things got to be taken into consideration. But for the most part, we want to try to keep everything as segregated as possible. So why do we separate business and personal credit, right? Number one, the limited personal risk. No personal guarantees equal less exposure to business failures. Okay. Second, preserve personal credit score. Avoid maxing out personal credit cards or impacting your debt to income ratio. Next, professionalism, right? Shows lenders and vendors you're serious and structured. And lastly, more capital over time. Business credit lines can grow much higher than personal credit lines. One thing I want you guys to understand, when we start starting up, you might have to rob people. You might have to pull some of your 401k. You might have to use some of your personal stuff to do that, right? Mm-hmm. You know, doing it to get started and doing it to stay open, two different things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to use none of your personal capital or your personal credit to get started. But I am saying you don't want to be you continue using that, right? That's we got to start somewhere, But as we doing it, we're building. That's why again we're talking about using business credit to scale without using your personal credit. I had to start off like that, but the key is not to continue doing that, okay? And one of the key things that people mess up, my personal opinion, is that people don't have plans in place. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. They shoot from the hip. Next thing you know, they made 5 or 6 different moves, and now they just like continue to just go down the wrong path. Mm-hmm. You say, look, I'm gonna start off using this. Then after I get that started, I'm gonna move this and I'm gonna move that. If that doesn't go right, I have this in place. If that doesn't go right, I have that in place. Write it down, guys. Remember, when we write stuff down, that causes us to think. When we avoid saying stuff like that, then we lose that accountability. Mm-hmm. We forget about shit on purpose.
What's going on, line lady love? Most definitely, we forget stuff on purpose.
So you got to be very careful that. Again, guys, tonight we're talking about using business credit to scale without using personal credit. Feel free to call in. The call in number 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. And one of the questions, what usually stopping you from separating personal and business finances? Mm-hmm. And I usually, like I just said, that plan, discipline, doing what you want to do.
But sometimes it's just that you've been using your own personal for so long. It's sometimes it get hard to separate the two.
Why would it get hard?
Because you know that your personal finances are a little bit more stable, especially if you work at another job or you're doing certain things to cover aspects of the business until the business becomes successful. Because as we know, if you have talked about on many of shows, businesses don't become successful overnight. You may have them ones like with the lines around the corner and all that, but don't get busy with profit. You get what I'm saying? So it may be a case of where I'm floating this business because I know it's going to be successful. It's just going to take a matter of time.
But like I said again, using your personal to start and using your personal to maintain, that's where the problem comes up.
Okay.
Because the key thing of it is, it's just like this, Lab. Just think about it in these terms. It's kind of that whole seesaw effect. If I'm building everything here and everything maybe get rough in my business, my ankle, my security blanket is always my person. Mm-hmm. If this kind of shaky being my business and my personal solid, and then when I damage that, I done really took myself out. Mm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If I keep this good while this is fragile, and I'm building it up, getting it healthy, that's not gonna go from here to here.
Right.
It may do this, may do that, but I still haven't hurt my safety blanket.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
This goes wrong, I'm through. Mm-hmm. Right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
So we got to be very, very, very careful for that. Because even with the business and stuff like that, even your business is good and the person is great. Something happened with the business, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You may not be able to expand or do something else. That person has to be protected. Mm-hmm. Right? And I understand initially, you may have turned around and say, "Coach, let me make some purchases here, max out this card, to do this, that, and that to get everything started." But we got to go to be extremely disciplined. That's one of the key things entrepreneurs got to be extremely disciplined, right? Mm-hmm. We got to make sure we go back and take care of that because we got to have our personal straight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That business can shipwreck and sink, and we can lead it because it's tied to that tax ID number. Mm-hmm. But if our personal it can take us years to recover. We can get us another business. Like we can get another business,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't get another us.
Mm.
So we have to make sure we're protecting that. Okay, so make sure you do the best job you can, separating everything, not commingling. Okay.
Ms. Alana Love says, and I know this is a personal debt. She says I have 160,000 debt ratio, so I just sold my house for 275,000. What would my credit score be in 90 days? I owe 130,000 left to pay off my mortgage. I don't know if you don't know what that would be, because
you when the key components, you don't know what all her credit history is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what all her past payments is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't know the different kind of debt
Mm.
that's on there, so you wouldn't know that. Like,
right, okay,
a person, and if a person tells you that they can tell you, run. So them factors,
because those factors are
the credit history, the type of credit, the credit type of payment, type payments you have, the length of your credit history. Mm-hmm. I'm forgetting something, but
ain't it debt to income ratio too?
But that income ratio is just how much you're making in and your total debt. That's just a ratio that I look at.
Don't they use that though part of your credit score too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Utilization. Okay. Well, it kind of like but that's not your income. Utilization is how much debt you got. Okay. In relation to how much you use. So if you got like $100 in debt, the credit card is available, and you got it past $30, that's 30% is usually that barometer that they look at. So if you got $30 used on a $100 credit card, that's when they start getting a little shaky with that. So all that kind of stuff come into play, which paying off one thing don't really tell what other stuff showing. That makes sense.
So, Love, I think you should give Mr. Short Dollar and set up an appointment. Those are things he can help you, but I don't think it's going to take a little bit longer than an hour.
The easiest thing is just get one of those Experian or TransUnion account, get the paid account, and they keep you abreast.
Oh, okay.
One of those. I wouldn't do no Credit Karma.
Okay.
Shit like that. But I'll just pay one of probably Experian and do a little $15, $20, whatever it is, and just have that. So you'll be knowing what it is.
Okay.
And I think that's the best advice.
Okay.
So that way you'll take out the assuming.
Okay.
Of knowing. I would recommend anybody. They got a free version.
They do. I use the free version.
Yeah, so you can get that, but I would just sign up for that. At least have some kind of glimpse.
The free version at least tell you what your credit score is.
Yeah. So
if it goes up or down.
Correct. So I would at least do that. Again, guys, now we're talking about using business credit to scale without using your personal credit. The second part, we're gonna talk about just foundation first. Like before you apply for that business loan, we're talking about the scale, how to grow your business credit. The first thing, guys, we got to make sure everything is right. It's what kills most people. They go in, they want that, we call it mighty grants. They want these loans. But shit ain't together. The structure ain't there. We got to make sure you have a registered LLC or corporation. That business got to be there. Number one, got to make sure you're a real business. You have to, guys. Not thought about, hope about, anything like that. You need to make sure you're a legitimate business.
In compliance.
There you go. Get that tax ID number. Get that EIN number, right? Go to irs.gov, get that tax ID number. Next thing you do, guys, get that business bank account. Get that business bank account. Go, because they're going to want you to be registered with the Secretary of State, have that tax ID number. Go to the bank and get that business account. From that point, you whatever your local municipality is, you go get your business license. Typically, the rule of thumb with a business license, wherever you have a physical presence, that way you get a business license. So you can be incorporated one time in that state. But if you have different locations, different offices, you get a business license wherever you have a physical location. But you just get that, take that tax ID number and those articles from the LLC or whatever entity you are to get that business license, wherever you got a physical location. I don't put too much even with the business address or professional address. And the reason being is because what do I always tell you guys? And I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Just like you listen to me talk to you guys about, we talking about, getting business credit and things like that. Talk to them lenders too. Because a lot of times you can spend time trying to build this or get this straight or whatever. And that particular lender at Chase, Bank of America, Truist, whatever, they may have different things they put weight on. One maybe want more with a credit score, maybe may put more weight on collateral. One person may put another bank may put more weight on industry. So we want to make sure that you go have conversation with the different banks that you think about dealing with to find out what they put the emphasis on. Because we do know once time spent, we can't get it back. And you spend all this time to pay shit off, and they really didn't care because they're like, nah, we just ain't dealing with restaurants. We just ain't dealing with clubs. I don't understand what your score is.
Right.
Like we just not dealing with it.
It's not a viable business for us.
Exactly. So have them conversations. You're not asking for the loan, but you have a conversation to find out exactly what do y'all look for, right? And remember, different lenders put weight on different stuff, right? So you have to make sure that you have them conversations. Ask the people that are going to give you the money what they want to see, right? Not what you assume they want to see, not what you've been told they want to see. The person that's going to give you the money that you're looking to get the money from, have the conversation with them, okay? You can get lists in certain directories, but I think the most legitimate as possible in this day and age. You do have a lot of lenders. They may do preliminaries to see if you got a website and all this other kind of stuff. Things to make you just look legitimate, right? So just kind of keep that in mind when you go and apply. They might do a little quick www. Man, what the hell is this? Or might run your name or something like you may, so kind of make sure that whatever you're doing looks legit, right? You're taking yourself out of it. It's legitimate business because again, we're asking people for money. And we want to kind of I always say, turn the tape around, not and be straight up with what I'm about to say. Like, if a complete stranger came to you ask you for money, what would you want to see? And don't be talking that bullshit about, well, I just want to give everybody a chance, and I just want to help folks, and I'll do this if I had money.
Right.
Well, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Because I want my money back.
Yeah.
Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
My mom on that. Hey, mom, what's going on? But those kind of things you got to take into consideration when you look at it, and that's why we talk about shows like Shark Tank and all that. What would you want to see? If you want to sit here, break bread with somebody and fund their business and stuff like that, what would you want to see from them? What would you want them to tell? And that's why I say just make sure, number one, that structure is together. That structure got to be there and everything. That your pitch, your know them numbers, all that kind of stuff need to be there. Okay, when we start talking about building it out, getting ready to scale everything, make sure that infrastructure is there. That right there stops half the people. We get all these responses to the grant videos. Man, they actually want me to be a business.
What you think?
Like, they're not going to cut a check to Deonte Burden. They'll cut a check to Mr. Short Dollar or Majestic Business Services. And people will just think that somebody's going to cut them a check to start that. This is not how this works.
Right.
That's not how this works. And actually get damn near upset. Like, no, man.
Right.
You should never feel somebody is more interested in your dreams than you.
That's true.
People don't give a shit about how you But when you believe in yourself and you've been putting in work, you got motion going, and everybody like, okay, I see what he's doing. They see your energy and stuff. People get excited. They want to be a part of it, right? They want to be a part. They see you doing stuff, whatever. When you doing stuff and nobody paying attention to you, when nobody supporting you, and you putting in work, and now the fruits of your labor starting to show, that's what get people excited. But you just said, hey, what's going on? Man, I'll tell you plenty of time. Folks came to me, hey, man, look, if you give me this money for this show, the show can make this. You're going to get me.
Where my money at?
Oh, what I'm going to get? You tell me, everything going to benefit you.
Right.
And that's what I want people to understand. Like, remember, when we start talking about, it's not about the money you can make. It's the money that the person is going to lend you the money, what they're going to make.
Right.
Because nobody going to get excited about you making no money. They'll get excited about, in the process of you trying to make money for yourself, you make them money.
Right.
Because they want their money first before you get any penny that you want.
And
nobody looking to fund your lifestyle change.
Right.
So you got to make sure that you're on top of that, right? So that number one, we got to make sure that foundation is set up first, okay? Again, tonight's show we're talking about, using business credit to scale without using your personal credit. In other words, how to grow that business credit without using your personal credit. How to make sure we got things in place where you can sleep at night and everything. Because you want your business to survive, do well and survive, but you do not want any shortcomings in that business or any issue in that business affecting your personal life. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because you, like I said, you can start another business, but it's hard to start another you. Just kind of keep that in mind, people. I want y'all to understand because it's a lot of folks out here right now seeing shit going the wrong way. They losing this, they losing that, but they keep robbing Peter pay Paul, and missing their own car notes, missing their own mortgage, keep a business open because they're trying to save face.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Sometimes you just gotta learn when to fold them.
Well, people know it's just the other factors: embarrassment, hurt, don't want to come to grips with reality, and to sit here and know that whatever they did, like I said, now your car getting repoed, now your house getting,
you can put everything in this business.
Yeah, and you did,
right?
And you kind of knew it wasn't gonna work, but because again, how you feel about it, you just so locked in, you don't want to get embarrassed or whatever like that. Shit, just now you done lost the business, your car, your house, your woman. Oh, Cuddy come by licking that lollipop. Listen, young John. Gotta call Cuddy. Cuddy gonna take care of it. Hey, baby girl. She sleep. Yeah. Well, let Cuddy get your girl because you try to keep that hot dog stain. No. Yeah. Boy, that them food truck boys. They ain't gonna let that food truck go.
That's right.
Cut in the background, just he ain't selling no reels no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me a sandwich.
You gonna keep that damn food truck. Well, hey, again, we're talking about using business credit scale without using personal credit. Next factor, guys, we start talking about this is start building your business credit the right way. The right way. Remember, not the play, not the trick, not the hustle, not the fast way. The right way. Use the right way. It's slower.
Much slower.
Because what happens a lot of times when you're doing it the right way, it takes steps. And when you start looking at the steps that you have to go to progress through everything, you might have to start back over somewhere. Oh, man, do it this way. And a lot of times people don't want to do it. And when you rush stuff, you'll get rush results. Right? And I just want to be straight up with everybody with it. Because like I said, I want everybody to be successful. I want you to follow all your dreams. But what I don't want you to do is rush out here, do something, and everything that you had to do, you had to throw it out the window. And then on top of that, it affects your personal life. And boy, like I said, one of the most painful things in the world to be here, and then you got to come back down here. That's hard because of what you did.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we want to avoid that. So again, we talk about doing it the right way. Now I want to get that Dunn's number. Register with Dun & Bradstreet to start your business credit profile. I want to say this too, guys. Even from the perspective of the Dunn's number, let me just say this too. Depending on what industry you are in, it's more weighted in regards you might need that Dunn's number. That Dunn's number, I don't want to sit here and just tell people to go out here and get these Dunn's number, do certain things. Remember, guys, that's why it's so important we talk to the lenders first, because they may not give a flying F about the Dunn's number. Now you dealing with an industry where you're a vendor, you need vendors or certain things like that. That might be a little different. Depending on what you have.
Contracts.
Yeah, contracts. So you just got to say you got a restaurant, or they may put more weight in having a Dunn's number because they got different vendors and stuff going on, and they may want to extend different lines of credit to you and everything. So it might be a little different. But depending on what you're trying to do, determines what type of funding you want to get and what those guys want to look for. So again, it's free. Let me call down the Bank of America, talk to the small business loan. Now listen, let me get a disclaimer. You may get somebody ignorant as hell. You may get somebody ignorant as hell.
Most definitely.
20 years in the game, damn right I done ran across. You set that appointment with Bank of America. I had to do something with one of the organizations that I'm with. Old Dog came out. Old Dog came out.
Okay.
And I'm sitting at this damn major bank. This boy had rubber bands on his head, padded up.
Right.
Totally unprofessional. Like, what the hell? Y'all hit me with customers. Didn't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, they damn sure had his ass in the black bank. Right there on Jonesboro Road in Clayton County.
Okay.
I don't want to sit here and do that, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a buddy of mine that work for the bank. It's a VP there, but I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? So I do want to get that disclaimer. Do not get discouraged when you have to deal with some people that are rude or whatever like that. So that's just part of being in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I ran across dog. That was last year, before last.
No,
I think no, okay. Yeah, year before last. Year before last. Yeah, that was year before last. Yeah. Matter of fact, that probably 3 years ago, because I had to deal with that damn. It was about 3 years ago. But anyway, I'm sitting here saying all that to, don't get discouraged, but go talk to the banks.
Right.
Have conversations with the business bankers. Talk to more than one bank. Talk to more than one bank. That doesn't mean you have more than one loan, but you're giving yourself familiar with talking to them, having conversations with them, building relationships. Guys, let me explain something to y'all about
lenders. About to ask you about that.
Hey, let me tell you something about lenders, guys. You're empowered as a business owner. What I can call Tony, Stacy, Dale at different banks. Hey man, look, they what I'm trying to do. Man, what's going on, man? We just gave you this. I got a new contract coming on, man. I need some help.
Right.
When you can have relationships with those people, go down and talk, look them eye to eye. Sell yourself. Don't look desperate. Find out, and if they tell you, look, man, we can't do nothing for you now, but if you do ABC and then come back in 5 months or whatever, you don't pout and get this high ass damn interest rate card. Do like a real soldier. Put in work, come back. It's because here's the deal: the $50,000 credit card that you seen on YouTube, 30-some%. They're gonna rape you. The bank charge you anywhere from 7 to 8%. But you got to be a little patient, get your stuff together, and go back do it. Do that. And for that point, you can stay in business and you have to sleep at night. But you ain't got this damn. It'll be the difference. I'm telling you, guys, from paying $2,000 a month on a loan as opposed to paying $800 a month on a loan. I'm dead ass serious about that, guys. Do not let your impatience or your greed surpass your logic. Okay, you got to make sure you. I really want y'all to understand that. Go to those business bankers, have the conversations. What's the rule, guys? What's the rule? Get access to capital when you don't need it. Get access to capital when you don't need it. Go talk to them. I'm Deonte Burden, man. This is the business I got in there. Everything, man. I'm looking to get it. Other rule is what? We always ask for way more than what we need. I need 50,000. I need 50,000. I'm asking for 75. I asked for 75, they're probably gonna give me what? 50,000. I asked for 50,000, they might give me 30. Right? That's the thing about it. Because at the end of the day, that's usually how it feels. It's like you go to the car dealership and everybody feel good. Well, look, he wanted this, but I gave him this. But man, I know you said 75, bro, but this how we do the 50. Right. Your mind like stupid. But your greedy ass going, that's what you want, come in lower. Yeah. Okay. Be smart, guys, but be patient. Gotta think. Now we gotta think, okay? Make sure when we start when we're doing for us building it, we try to use those net 30 vendors that report, Uline, Quill, Granger, Crown Office Supplies. Make small purchases and pay over time to kind of get that relationship, make everything steady, to have some kind of payment history. Again, I say again, guys, we're building this business credit. The key thing, you have to find out the lenders that for what industry or what business you are in, the lenders you have. Because it doesn't make sense to sit here and be breaking your neck that you had this damn Uline, you're ordering all these damn bubble wraps, and you don't need the shit, right? And like it's not gonna benefit you. And then the loan that you're looking to get in the future, those people are not gonna be looking at, your ability to keep paying for bubble wrap. Right. I'm just being straight up. Right. That's why it's so important to go talk to the people, right? Talk to the people that you want to get the loan from. Have a conversation with them, share your story, whatever. And they might be like, look, bro, we can't do it. That shit is too volatile. We can't fund it. Because I'm telling you guys, sometimes that there's some businesses you're just gonna run away from. Right. That's not to make you stop, but it's to make you aware of, well, I don't need to waste my time talking to them. Right. So who do I talk to with that? For those kind of folks, they may have a higher rate or they may have a more lengthier application process, but you talk to the right people. But that's why we got to go talk. Get access to the capital when we don't need it. Get out there and talk to folks. Okay, we're building that credit, our business credit without using our personal. Open a business credit card. Start with options that do not require a PG or personal guarantee. I don't want to give any names up there. I had them on my notes, but I changed my mind about that. let me say something to you guys. You go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, and I discussed about do you need a personal guarantee on a business loan. I will tell you this: you do have some business loans that do not require a personal guarantee. A personal guarantee is when they actually going to have you listed as a person of the loan default. I would say this: the problem that comes up if you don't have a personal guarantee, and most business loans will do want you to have a personal guarantee. They do. Most of them do want you to have at least a 700 credit score, even though the loan is under the tax ID of the business. Mm-hmm. They still want a personal guarantor, even though the loan is still under the tax ID number. It's not hitting your personal credit, but they still want a personal guarantee, and you require that person to have at least a 700 credit score. The thing you got to take consideration of, I don't want to have this. I don't want to be a person guarantee, only person liable. We're talking about anywhere from a difference of getting a loan at 7 to 10%, as opposed to getting one from 15 to 25, 30%. The rate gonna be high if you ain't got a person guarantee on that. So that's one of the things I think you got to take in consideration when you're looking at that kind of thing, right? You know, the math got to be math. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, so just son to say that. I wouldn't shy away from that with a person guarantee, because like I said, you can do that, build yourself up, but I understand the cost is typically gonna be higher. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we want to get them business credit card, but make sure that the least thing that they actually that credit card is under the tax ID number for the business. Right? Yeah. I'm just saying that, guys. We want to be that tax ID number. We got to do as much activity with it, right? Okay, just kind of keep that in mind, but don't let that be a deal breaker that they want to be a person guarantee.
A deterrent from you.
Yeah, was that
a deterrent?
Yeah, a deterrent. Thanks, Lyle.
You welcome.
Said Atlanta Public School stuff. Oh. Man, but no, I appreciate it, but definitely, guys, you know, we won't get hung up on, like I always said, on major and the minor with that. Again, we're talking about using your business credit to scale without using personal credit. We're starting the business credit the right way. You got to monitor that business credit. You got tools like NAV, Credit Signal for your DMB, and Experience Business, what we just looked at earlier. We human, we forget shit, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, man. Because you got 15 different bills you got to pay with your personal, right? Then them 7, 8 little that you might have, 7, 8 ones that you may have under your business, not necessarily using them, but you forgot. Damn, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do it. I've done that before. Shit, I forgot about that because I hardly use the card.
Right.
Damn. Go back and mess up.
Go down a little bit.
Shit, a lot of bit.
Oh, okay.
Depending on how long you forgot. Uh-huh. So I'm just saying, guys, I'm speaking out of personal experience. Stay on top of your shit. In 2025, we don't have at all. There's no excuses for the human excuses. I forgot. Damn, I didn't know. No, there are too many tracking mechanisms. There are too many alert factors. Like you can be on those things we talk about Experience and all them, but these different platforms. They can send you notifications via email, via text to let you know, hey, this payment wasn't made. Hey, they putting this notice or whatever. Even your actual creditors can have you set up for notifications. You know, don't be on that. I don't want them to call me on. And you peeking out and shit. No, listen, get the email, get the text. Use technology to your advantage, okay? Like I said, we're human. We forget stuff. Things happen, right? So make sure you get them things just in place to stay on top of that. And then we start talking about number 4, scaling with credit. Once established, use business credit to fund growth. Once established, use business credit to fund growth, not vacations, not shopping sprees, not a day at the spa, not for tricking in Vegas. Okay? We got to make sure.
Just hit a chord on somebody with that.
Hey, gonna get shot of flued out. I made a shot on TikTok. I'm gonna get a flued out.
Right. I just got the credit.
You must be yourself all the fine things. Shout out and get flued out.
Right.
Yeah. I got that new business credit card. Yes, sir.
Got 50,000 on it.
Hey, you see, brother, him and the girl, they all got a Versace roll. They go get manicured. No. We want to make sure that we use that business credit to fund business growth. What I mean by that, example, buying equipment. Remember, guys, when you do that, the return on investment has to be higher than the rate of the cost of the loan, right? The cost of the loan being the interest rate, right? So it has to be higher than that. So we're using the credit to leverage out to make us more money. We're making more money at a higher rate than we paying the loan back, right? The math got to math. If you do not know how to calculate this, I got videos on the YouTube channel in regards to how to plug those numbers in and how to do it. Or you just find somebody to help you how to do it, guys. You got to sit here and think. You cannot assume this shit gonna work right.
Right.
You can't assume it. You got to know mathematically. Math ain't really my thing, man. I like doing this, that, and that. You can't afford not to know it. Right. As a business owner, you don't have to know everything. You just need to know a little bit about enough stuff to make informed decisions. That's all the business owner got to do. You know, that's why the president got cabinet, prime minister got parliament. They not subject matter experts on everything, but they got the right people in place to get them information. And hopefully they can get it, dissect it, process it, and make an informed decision. And that's all you got to do as a business owner. You figure you got this, you got it. No, the hell you don't.
No, you don't. Said, thank you.
Huh?
Layla says thank you when he's talking about the don't flew nobody out. It's used for business, not personal.
Yeah, but you know, we want to make them informed. You're welcome with it. But we start talking about buying equipment, invest in inventory, run marketing campaigns. I cannot stress to you enough how many people got you need. Advertising is the lifeblood of your business. You assuming that because you posted on Facebook and social media and a couple of your friends shared it, that's advertising. The people that love you and know you, they care about, they want you to be successful. They ain't gonna buy your shit. So you got to make sure that you putting dollars behind your products, your advertising to get it out there to the people that want it, right? So make sure, guys, I can't stress that to you enough, guys. Make sure you can put money to advertising. I see too many restaurants open up, nobody know they there. They done did everything to make it look nice and all this stuff. Man, you gotta run some ads.
Yeah.
You gotta run some ads, man. You gotta pay some folks. You might got and everything ain't gonna work.
Right.
Everything's not gonna work. I thought it was extremely innovative a couple years back when people just started having these influencers. Hey y'all, I went to this little place here. Hey y'all, with this. I mean, I thought this shit was kind of clever.
Right.
And now you got this whole segment of people that visit restaurants, visit stores, go to different places so people can see it. And you can just pay this person and they had this interactive experience that they can share with people. I thought that was extremely clever with doing it. Pay them damn folks. Now, again, you might get somebody that don't have any kind of following or somebody, and it may not necessarily work out. I get it. That's cost doing business. That's cost doing business. But you trying to sit here and post and do all that kind of stuff, that shit ain't gonna work. You sitting there making a social media program, you just gonna get your husband, your girlfriend, your son, or daughter, and knowing they're not gonna take it serious.
Right.
Knowing they're not gonna update and post regularly. Knowing that they're not gonna be, indebted to that platform to help you succeed. You just got to say, I got a website, or we got a Facebook, but you're not posting regularly. You having daily specials and daily different things, but you're not having those kind of interactions. You got to pay folks. Then we start talking about getting that, you had that business funding, paying somebody to do it. Not you steady having access to it and you spending it on shit that's not going to be relevant to you being successful. Okay? Hire staff and consultants.
Lady Lionel say probably stealing your ideas when you just post them on social media like that.
Well, I mean, let me say this. I don't see that wrong folks stealing your ideas. You don't own it. You can steal every damn thing I can, but you ain't me.
Right.
I'm telling you, you say some shit about me, I'm like, around me. Shit.
He might not do it.
He can't do it like I do it. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh. And that's the thing about it, though.
Right.
You sit there and you see that, man. Everybody think they shit original.
Right.
Everybody, but but the problem is your ass can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people had the gift to just to make a dream a reality. Some folks just good dreamers. That was a great idea, but they can't bring it to fruition. Some folks have a gift to do that. So if they stole it, like, yes, we're gonna do it any damn way, but just talk about it. So, but you got to see him again. Going back to what we're talking about, make sure that you using this when you built it. You putting it into things that's gonna make you more money. Once we make more money, we can go to the lenders, increase the actual credit that's available to us. Now I was able to get funding to be able to market to 100,000 people. Now my credit has gotten better because we've done that. We've been paying off the debt. Now I can market to 1 million people, right?
Right.
You got to think like that. Again, we're looking at things to do that actually bring a return higher than the cost we had. Hire staff and consultants. I mean, that's the thing about it. You know, when I always was transparent, like when I had to clean the business, man, you know, hey, the market crashed, but I had a $30,000 line of credit. Payroll anywhere 18 to 25 grand a month. So, I mean, invoice come in, the folks will pay anywhere from 30 to 45 days. Line of credit, pay their payroll. Pay the payroll, money stacking. I can always come back, hey, expand it.
Right.
Market crash, everybody shit just went like that because it didn't start off with the $30,000 line of credit. Right? With 5, 10 to 20, but I kept showing, okay, cool. You want a little more bump idea? I can do what? Go get more contracts, go get more staff. Cool, I'm clearing out more money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
Those are the kind of things we start by hiring staff and doing those kind of things. You leveraging stuff out. I ain't coming out of my pocket to pay payroll. The line of credit paying. Once the invoice get paid, be disciplined. Pay the damn line. Pay that line out. And now you just you stacking your money. You stacking your money with somebody else's money.
You know what? That's how it's done with a lot of businesses.
I ain't say shit about cruising. I ain't say shit about no car.
Right.
I ain't say none of that. You got to be smart. You got to be disciplined, guys. And you can expand to other locations, other services, and stuff like that. Again, we're using the credit. We're using the credit to expand and grow. Remember, smart debt equals growth capital when used strategically. Smart debt equals growth capital when used strategically. You got a plan, guys. You just cannot get greedy. Far too often, we see, okay, now I got $40,000 line of credit. Ooh, I'm gonna go get me a car. Ooh, I'm gonna go get. No, you gotta be smart. That shit down. If I need it, and when I need it, let me start here playing. What I'm using it for, and just you leverage it out. Or I can go get some more equipment. Cause look, I got that contract. They finna give me a $50,000 contract. I need to go get some of these equipment and stuff like that to start it up. Let me go get it. Now I can service that contract, make the money, pay that loan off, and I got money in my bank. Now we paying for this. Now we gotta fix this. We gotta fix that. I know how that stuff is, guys. I know how that stuff is. So please be careful with that. Again, we're talking about using business credit to scale without using personal credit. Mistakes to avoid, guys. Use your personal security number when the EIN should have been used. Do not use your social when your EIN should have been used. Okay, guys. Like I said, make sure we're being methodical. We staying professional and everything. Got to be disciplined. Missing payments hurts your business credit very fast. Like I said, in 2025, and with the systems that we have in place now, notifications, Google, Apple calendars, all this stuff in place, use that shit. Hell, like I said, they get notifications now. If you are like 5 days before your payment, you can get the shit by email and a text.
That's true.
You can get it by email and a text. Oh, that bill due, right? And not only you can get it by email and text 5 days, hell, they'll do it 3 days. You can get back to back reminders by email or text message because they want their money.
And they'll set up automatic draft for you. I know a lot of people don't like doing that.
So many systems in place.
As a business owner, I would do that. I would do an automatic draft. If I know the money's coming in steadily and I know I can make them payments manually, why not do it automatically? That way I ain't got to stress over that part. I'm doing something else, trying to build a business to make more money. You get what I'm saying? And expand on that. Prince Edward says, when I first started, that's where I messed up. I appreciate you. Prince Edward says, I appreciate you. Let's Talk America Radio says, great topic. Any tips for partnerships? One person can make decisions without a consensus, but partnerships are different.
I would, Prince Edward, I appreciate you even tuning in. I'm glad to help. With Let's Talk America, what I would say, Let's Talk America Radio, what I will say is this. Go to the video we did in regards to the 10 things you need to look at with a partnership. Because that's one of those answers where there are so many more factors with doing that. Because, you know, you can just say, I got the money, the lab got the expertise, I got the credit, the lab know how to do it and stuff like that. But then when we start talking about partnerships, now we got to look at, both of our health, both of our living situations, both of our lifestyles. All this stuff got to be weighing in. We start talking about a partnership. They ain't got a damn thing to do about the money or the credit. So that I always reference people to go check out the video we did, 10 things to look at, because there's not an answer. There are, a question. Multiple. Yeah, so there's multiple. So I would always say, go on Mr. Short on YouTube and look at the video where we did 10 things to ask yourself before you make somebody a business partner.
You have a video. Chris Evans says, looking for more credit partners to add to my Sequel Holdings Trust. That's all about relationships. Do you have any videos about how to build credit partners, like on your YouTube channel? Credit partners? Yeah.
I still go back now. No, I don't, but I still go back to what I said about the business partners. Like, I don't, it's just me speaking. I think with partnerships, it's great to leverage out because now we don't went from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, because we got different people doing stuff. But you have to be very, very smart. You start talking about partners because, people can get sick, go through a divorce, get tired, get scared, get bored, and they out of that shit. Even you put things in place, like, even if I put stuff in place and say, well, look, Lab, if you leave, your money stuck here, Lab might have been such a great asset because he was so knowledgeable. Now I done lost that. So when you put yourself in a position to lose something like that, that can be very drastic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm very funny about, not in a bad way, about partnerships, but I tell people to look at that stuff very, very hard, because your commitment and my commitment can be totally different things.
Right.
Not saying, because everybody like winning, but I ain't got tired. I got old. Or I got married. My child's sick. And all that stuff. Like I say, even if we have things in place where, okay, well, your money stay here.
Right.
I lost you. And you were so important for us to be successful with your ideas, your experience, and stuff like that. And man, we need deep into it.
Yeah.
So even though I got what you put in, the ship still may sink because you're gone.
Yeah.
You did what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I still look at the same thing with the credit partners. Because again, like, anytime that partnership, you got to be very, very smart about that, man, because people come and go. People come and go. And like I said, your commitment, theirs may be totally different.
Most definitely.
When once time start going. We start talking about the mistakes to avoid, applying for too many accounts at one time. That can trigger certain things depending on how that goes. Sexy Redbone says no partners if possible. And I'm not against that, partners, but I just say go through that whole protocol of looking. Because you might got you might got your Warren Buffett and what's that Bernie
Sanders.
Bernie.
No. Warren Buffett and his new CEO.
Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger.
Munger.
Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger.
Yeah.
And they've been going down there 60 years strong.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus.
Bernie Marcus.
Hey, strong.
Billionaires both.
Hey, cool. Hey, so you might have that, but you have more times you don't. You have more times you don't, right? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of rock bands done broke up.
Because somebody put it for it.
Yeah. So or just like I say, things change, right? So just have to be careful and mixing things to avoid, mixing personal and business purchases, mixing personal and business purchases, just a couple things to avoid. Guys, it's been a good conversation. I want you to understand that your EIN can work just as hard as your Social Security number. If you build it right, your business credit is a tool to grow, not a trap to survive. Guys, you can leverage things out, put things in place, can take you to a whole nother stratosphere if you use it the right way. Just got to be careful. I just really want you guys to make sure that you approach with caution people that can tell you, I can get you this credit. But there are a ton of them on social media. One thing that I've said, again, like I said, I'm a damn accountant, so I ain't finna be sitting here selling no damn dreams and stuff like that. When you see all these folks saying $50,000 here, this credit card or that company, that bank go there, it's there. It's there. But like I said, the rate, and you take this amount of money, and that credit card is 15, 20, 30%, the rate of return or the return on investment that you have to make will be nowhere near as high as that damn interest rate. So you taking the L from the get-go.
Okay.
You're taking the L from the get-go. And most of the time, people don't know. Now, what done happened? Your ass done heard it from me. So now you know. So now you have no excuse whatsoever, right? Most of the time, you're not going to be around a professional and they, do that. That's why the people in corporate America get paid so much money. Not because the business is so greedy, because they're smart, right? I'm just saying, like, I mean, you don't get to work for IBM, Coca-Cola, Goldman Sachs, and so you're a damn idiot. It might be, but that, they're not it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got to see and just sometimes just step out of it and like, how's this going to work?
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing wrong with not knowing. It's something wrong to know you don't know and continue to go in that same direction without pumping the brakes to figure certain things out. Because when we start talking about math equations and doing certain things to make business decisions, that's like, man, look, I'm just trying to, wash some cars.
Right.
I'm just trying to cut some grass, bake some cakes. I ain't trying to do all that shit. But at the end of the day, it's going to come back on your ass if you didn't do it. Mm-hmm. It's going to come back on you. Because what you end up getting that high ass lease,
right?
You end up buying that damn piece of equipment for so much that no matter what you sell or what you do, it'll still never be able to cover it. You actually producing way more than you did before, but that rate's so damn high. You pay that note, you still can't make that money, and you just still paying for that. We ain't even talking about just keeping the lights on, or you can take some money for yourself. So the math is always going to be the most important thing, not customer service. Not fans, not followers, and all that stuff. The math gotta work, people.
Most definitely.
Okay. But look, man, it was a great conversation tonight, guys. If you came in the middle part of the show, remember tonight we talked about using business credit to scale without your personal credit. Feel free to leave, in the comments. Go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Find the video, and leave in the comments a question you may have. You about 24 hours. 48 at most, I get back with you with my response. Anybody got any questions?
No, Prince Edward said, what about Reginald Lewis?
Reginald Lewis.
I don't know who that is. You know who Reginald Lewis is?
He's talking about was it Black Billionaire, the one that died? Reginald Lewis, that's one he's talking about?
Okay.
Is that more than one?
Okay.
Reginald Lewis, if I'm thinking of you talking about the business person, he died of brain cancer probably about 50 years ago.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those first black business owners, investors. If that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Talking about somebody for NBA draft, or something like that.
Right.
But I'm assuming that maybe
yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people, you have brilliant people just like Reginald Lewis, and we're doing certain things with business. I just think that again, we all do that personal assessment ourselves. We know how we are. And that's a whole nother show when we do that assessment in regards to risk tolerance, knowledge capacity, what we have to do. We're doing it. I think partnerships are great. I think entrepreneurship is great. But I damn sure don't think it's for everybody. And I think that you can get you a Schwab E-Trade account and put in $25 to $50 a pay period, and hit it twice a month, and that $50, that's $600 over
Prince
20 years.
Edward said, y'all mentioned everybody else. We ain't mentioned David Stewart. He a billionaire in Chicago, black billionaire.
Yeah, but I ain't doing all this.
We just talking about partnerships and trying to make sure we got the right partners for the right time to be. There you go.
Well, let me say this. There's always going to be a proud thing. We sit there and say black billionaires, the black business owners that have been successful and call their names. The key thing is we can talk about them, but when we start looking at business success, Lab path, my path, Prince Edward path, everybody path different. So we can talk about, and it's good from an inspirational standpoint, but we need, the blueprint.
We need the blueprint of how to
get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, because the way they got them is the way they got them. That shit might not work for me.
Right.
Because I got kids. I got debt. I don't have experience. I don't have connections. And everybody's path going to be different. And what we try to do is look at this, the blueprint, okay, but these maybe our shortcomings. How do we circumvent that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we start talking about building that business credit, though. I said, don't sit there and be spending 2 or 3 days months to try to pay off all your damn debt. The bank ain't concerned with it. What they need? Oh man, we don't give a damn about that. I'm just letting you know we ain't funding no club.
That's
We ain't funding that.
right.
You know, saying paid off all this debt,
Right.
spend all this time. They ain't
And
studying
they
that.
still ain't give you
hell
no
we
credit.
No, we won't do that.
We don't do clubs. They're
Yeah,
too volatile.
exactly.
We don't do coffee shops too.
Yeah, ain't no food truck here.
Right.
Oh hell no. I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying, but the place down the street they do. But if you were proactive and had the conversation with them, you found out then. Had the conversation with them, found out no. Had a conversation, got another no. Okay, we'll help you out, but this is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want to sit here and be able to do. Not necessarily you're so stuck on what Lab did to be successful, or this person did. Okay, cool. This good. We getting these foundational pieces out. It's inspiring, but we gotta focus on us.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta focus on us. What we need to do, what we don't need to be doing. You know, so I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. I appreciate all the love and support we've been getting in everything, man. Y'all be safe out there. The weather's been real funny. And also, man, watch the damn heat. Watch the damn heat. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
I saw a post today. They said it's 97 outside, but it feels like 107. This guy said, well, it's 107.
Boy, I seen those young boys. Boy, you thought he was in the damn Swiss Alps. Got in there, coat and hood.
Really?
Crack the. What the hell? I mean, you know, got the little ski mask thing on. He had the bubble coat on and everything. Man, I don't know what the going on. I don't know.
Yeah, we saw that. We were driving out. See, they say he got on a skull cap, a hoodie. It's 104 degrees outside.
Like it's normal. Like it's normal. That's what I told you, but cousins start breeding together. Shit. Things happen. But look, man.
Just find your path. Find your path, what you're good at, then have your other pieces. Facts. I appreciate y'all, brothers.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. But look, I love you all. Appreciate all the support. Great conversation tonight. Again, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You came in at the tail end of the show, in the middle of the show, anything like that. Got a question, concerns, leave a question on the comment. Take care. Talk to you soon.